In the late 12th century, Europe was still deeply entrenched in the intellectual stagnation of the Dark Ages, relying on cumbersome systems for calculation and record-keeping. The Roman numeral system, which had dominated the continent for over 1,000 years, was the standard method for representing numbers in commerce, law, and science. While Roman numerals were sufficient for recording static quantities, they were woefully inadequate for complex arithmetic operations like multiplication and division. Merchants and scholars were forced to use the abacus for calculations, a mechanical aid that required physical manipulation of beads to perform even simple sums. The results of these abacus calculations then had to be painstakingly transcribed back into Roman numerals, a process prone to error and inefficiency. Amidst this mathematical landscape, a child was born in the bustling Italian city-state of Pisa around the year 1170 who would change the world forever. His name was Leonardo Pisano, meaning Leonardo of Pisa, though history would come to know him by the nickname Fibonacci. The name Fibonacci is a contraction of Filius Bonacci, which translates to son of the Bonacci family, indicating his lineage. His father, Guglielmo Bonacci, was a wealthy and influential merchant who held a government post as a customs official. Guglielmo's work took him across the Mediterranean Sea to the port of Bugia, located in what is now modern-day Bajaya, Algeria. Bugia was a vibrant trading hub where European merchants exchanged wool, wax, and iron for the exotic goods of Africa and the East. Recognizing the importance of an international education for his son's future career in commerce, Guglielmo summoned Leonardo to join him in Bugia. Upon arriving in North Africa, the young Leonardo was immediately immersed in a culture vastly different from the one he had left behind in Italy. The Islamic Golden Age was in full swing, and the Arab world was a beacon of scientific, mathematical, and astronomical advancement. It was here in Bugia that Guglielmo arranged for his son to be instructed in the art of calculation by Arab masters. During these lessons, Leonardo was introduced to a revolutionary system of 9 symbols: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Most importantly, he learned of a magical 10th symbol known as Zephyr, or 0, which allowed for the positional notation system we use today. This Hindu-Arabic numeral system originated in India and had been refined and transmitted to the West by Arab mathematicians like Al-Khwarizmi. Leonardo was astounded by the efficiency and elegance of this new method compared to the clumsy Roman numerals he had grown up with. He realized that with these 10 digits, any number, no matter how large, could be written continuously and manipulated with ease. The cumbersome abacus was no longer necessary. Calculations could now be performed with a pen and paper, a method the Arabs called algorithm. Eager to learn more, the young Leonardo embarked on a grand tour of the Mediterranean basin to study under the leading mathematicians of the erudites. He traveled to Egypt, where he observed the sophisticated methods used by surveyors to measure the annual flooding of the Nile. In Syria, he engaged with merchants who used advanced arithmetic to calculate profits, losses, and currency exchanges across the Silk Road. He visited the Byzantine Empire, exploring the mathematical traditions of Greece and Constantinople, absorbing their geometric knowledge. In Sicily, he spent time at the vibrant court of the Normans, a melting pot of cultures where Latin, Greek, and Arab scholars mingled. At every stop, Leonardo rigorously compared the various systems of calculation he encountered, from the Egyptian fractions to the Greek logic. He became convinced that the modus indorum, the method of the Indians, was superior to all other known methods of computation. Around the year 1200, after years of travel and study, Leonardo returned to his hometown of Pisa, now a mature and learned scholar. He found that Europe was still largely ignorant of the mathematical treasures he had discovered in the East. Determined to share his knowledge, he began compiling his notes and discoveries into a comprehensive manuscript. In 1202, he completed his magnum opus, a massive handwritten book titled Liber Abaci, which translates to The Book of Calculation. Despite its title, the book was not about the abacus. Rather, it was a manifesto for abandoning the abacus in favor of the Hindu-Arabic numerals. The opening chapter introduced the Latin-speaking world to the 9 digits and the concept of zero, explaining place value clearly. Fibonacci wrote, "The 9 Indian figures are 987, 65, 4321. With these 9 figures, and with the sign 0, any number can be written." This was a radical concept for Europeans, who were accustomed to using different letters for different magnitudes, like V for 5 and L for 50. The book proceeded to teach the reader how to perform addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division using the new system. He utilized lattice multiplication, a visual method that made multiplying large numbers significantly easier and less prone to mistakes. Leonardo Fibonacci was not just a theoretical treatise, it was a practical handbook designed for merchants, surveyors, and government officials. Fibonacci included hundreds of practical problems involving currency conversion, profit margins, interest calculations, and weight measurements. He showed how to convert the various currencies of the Italian city-states, a crucial skill in the fragmented political landscape of medieval Italy. The book also contained problems related to pure mathematics, derived from the ancient Greek and Arab traditions he had studied. One such problem, buried in the 3rd section of the book, would inadvertently immortalize Fibonacci's name in pop culture. He posed a question: how many pairs of rabbits will be produced in a year, beginning with a single pair, if, in every month, each pair bears a new pair, which becomes productive from the 2nd month on? To solve this, he created a sequence of numbers where each number is the sum of the 2 preceding ones: 1, 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, 13, 21, and so on. This sequence, now known as the Fibonacci sequence, appears frequently in nature, describing the spiral patterns of shells, flowers, and pine cones. Although Fibonacci did not discover the sequence, it had been known in India for centuries. He was the first to introduce it to the West. The ratio between consecutive terms in the Fibonacci sequence approximates the golden ratio, or phi, a number revered by artists and architects. Interestingly, Fibonacci himself likely did not realize the full depth of the connection between his rabbits and the divine proportion. For him, it was simply a recreational puzzle to demonstrate the versatility of the Hindu-Arabic arithmetic. The fame of Leonardo and his extraordinary book soon spread beyond Pisa, reaching the ears of the Holy Roman Emperor Frederick II. Frederick II was an enlightened ruler, a patron of the arts and sciences who maintained a court filled with scholars from diverse backgrounds. Intrigued by the stories of the Pisan mathematician, the emperor invited Fibonacci to his court in the 1220s. There, a mathematical tournament was held where the court scholar, John of Palermo, challenged Fibonacci with a series of complex problems. One problem involved finding a rational number such that when 5 is added to or subtracted from its square, the result is also a square. Fibonacci solved every problem posed to him with speed and elegance, impressing the emperor and the assembled court. This encounter solidified his reputation as the greatest mathematician of his age. Following this success, Fibonacci maintained a correspondence with Frederick II, his scholars, dedicating some of his later works to them. Beyond Liber Abaci, Leonardo wrote several other significant texts, including Practica Geometriae in 1220. Practica Geometriae applied the new algebraic methods to geometric problems, effectively merging the 2 fields. He also wrote Liber Quadratorum, or the Book of Squares, which is considered his masterpiece in number theory. In this work, he examined Pythagorean triples and laid the groundwork for what would later become the study of Diophantine equations. Despite his brilliance, the adoption of the Hindu-Arabic numerals in Europe was not immediate nor without resistance. In 1299, the city of Florence explicitly banned the use of the new numerals in banking, citing the ease with which they could be altered. Critics argued that a 0 could easily be changed into a 6 or a 9, creating potential for fraud in ledgers. The church was also suspicious of this infidel knowledge coming from the Islamic world, viewing it with caution. However, the utility of the system was undeniable, and practical merchants continued to use it in secret or for their private records. The invention of the printing press, centuries later, would finally cement the victory of the Hindu-Arabic system. Fibonacci himself was recognized by his home city of Pisa during his lifetime, granted a salary for his services to the commune. He advised the city on accounting matters and helped resolve disputes involving currency and measures. After 1240, Leonardo disappears from the historical record, and the date and circumstances of his death remain unknown. For centuries, his contributions were largely overlooked, overshadowed by later mathematicians of the Renaissance. It was not until the 19th century that historians fully reconstructed his life and realized the magnitude of his impact. Today, a statue of Leonardo Fibonacci stands in the Camposanto of Pisa, honoring him as one of the city's greatest sons. His legacy is everywhere, in the prices at the supermarket, the page numbers of books, and the binary code of computers. Without the efficiency of the system he championed, the scientific revolution in the modern technological age would have been impossible. The Fibonacci sequence continues to fascinate mathematicians, biologists, and artists, bridging the gap between logic and beauty. Financial analysts use Fibonacci retracement levels to predict stock market movements, applying 13th century math to modern economics. Leonardo Pisano was more than just a mathematician. He was a cultural bridge who connected the wisdom of the East with the potential of the West. His willingness to look beyond his own culture and embrace superior ideas is a testament to the power of open-mindedness. The Book of Calculation effectively ended the mathematical Dark Ages in Europe, lighting a spark that would eventually become the Renaissance. Every time we calculate a tip, check the time, or solve a Sudoku puzzle, we owe a debt of gratitude to the merchant son from Pisa. The 0, once feared as a symbol of the void, became the hero of modern mathematics, the anchor of the number line. Fibonacci's life reminds us that knowledge has no borders and that the language of numbers is truly universal. He taught Europe how to count, and in doing so, he taught it how to grow. So the next time you see a spiral in a seashell or count the petals on a flower, remember Leonardo. Remember the traveler who brought the magic of the numerals across the sea. The man who saw the future in the sands of North Africa. Leonardo Fibonacci, the mathematician who changed the world with 10 simple symbols. His work laid the foundational stones for Newton, Leibniz, and Einstein. The simplicity of $1 or $2 is a luxury we enjoy because of his advocacy. The complexity of calculus and quantum physics rests on the positional system he popularized. History often forgets the intermediaries, the translators, and the messengers. But without the messenger, the message is never received. Fibonacci was the ultimate messenger of mathematics. His story is a testament to the importance of cross-cultural exchange. It highlights how trade routes carried not just spices and silk, but ideas and innovation. The intellectual curiosity of one man shifted the trajectory of an entire continent. Let us celebrate the legacy of the Pisan scholar. For in the sequence of history, he is a pivotal term, a number that adds value to all that follows. The infinite nature of his sequence mirrors the infinite reach of his influence. From the breeding of rabbits to the structure of galaxies, his numbers echo through the universe. He proved that mathematics is the language of nature, and that the human mind, when open to learning, can unlock the secrets of the cosmos. Leonardo Fibonacci, the bridge between the ancient and the modern. The father of European arithmetic, a name that will be counted for as long as humanity counts. His life was a calculation that resulted in a positive sum for all of us. We walk in a world measured by his methods. We build with the precision he made possible. We explore the stars using the coordinates he helped define. The quiet boy from Pisa who listened to the Arab masters changed everything. He brought the zero to the land of the Romans. And in doing so, he gave us the power of the infinite. The Abbasists eventually laid down their beads. The Algorists rose to build the modern world. It was a victory of ink over wood, of abstract thought over physical manipulation, of the East's wisdom meeting the West's potential. Fibonacci's travels were not just geographical, but intellectual. He crossed the sea of ignorance to find the shores of reason, and he brought back the treasure of numbers. A treasure that multiplies the more it is shared. Unlike gold, which diminishes when divided, knowledge grows. This was the true wealth of the merchant's son. The legacy of Liber Abbasi is written in the code of our lives. It is in the rhythm of music and the proportions of art. It is in the breeding of rabbits and the spiral of galaxies. It is the golden thread that weaves through the tapestry of creation. Leonardo Fibonacci, the man who counted the world. Let his story be remembered. Let his numbers be used. And let us never forget the power of a new idea. For one idea can change the count of history, just as the zero changed the count of numbers. From Pisa to the world, the numbers traveled, carried by the ink of a dedicated scholar. Leonardo Pisano, we salute you. Your sequence goes on, and on, and on. Ideally, we should all strive to be like the numbers in his sequence, building upon the past to create a greater future, a sum greater than its parts. That is the lesson of the rabbits. That is the lesson of the spiral. That is the lesson of Leonardo, the mathematician who brought us the future, one digit at a time. The end